Hey guys, Brian here, and as you can see, I got Ronan's house. That's right, folks, I turfed him. I did so well this year making ET's videos, driving their truck, doing their 90-day challenge. This baby's mine. Poof, we're gonna fire him. Gone, out of here, poof. See ya, Ronan. I'm just kidding. We can't fire him. He's the only one around here that pays us right, so we gotta keep him. Anyway, let's get on with this. We're gonna give you a video today on why senior drivers, notice I point at myself, I don't know why, but senior drivers are grumpy. What's making us grumpy in the trucking industry today? Let's get to it. Okay, boys and girls, I've been given a really good question, and I'm gonna try and give you a really good answer based on the fact that I'm an older driver and I've been doing this a long time. And the question presented to me, and it was, like I said, a really good question, was why have drivers become so aggressive and why have we become so grumpy? Now, I'm not gonna say that all drivers are grumpy and all drivers are aggressive. They're not. And I'm not claiming to be an aggressive, grumpy driver. What sometimes I would lean towards do get a little grumpy. I do my best to lay off the aggression, but if I have to say what it is that's causing the aggression and grumpiness per se would be two or three little things. It's not one big thing, it's two or three little things. In my case, and when talking about this with a couple of friends and a couple other senior drivers, and talking with a couple of younger guys, probably the first thing, and we're gonna base this over the last 15 years. So if you've been trucking for say 2 or 3 years, a lot of what I'm gonna say you won't relate to because you weren't around 15 years ago when some of this was happening. The first thing, obviously, and everybody's affected by this today, is the e-logs. And I've said this before in videos. Never have I been so damn tired and been working so damn tired. They said that when e-logs came in, it was gonna force us to sleep and force us to rest, and it backfired. I don't care what the ministry says, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what those numbers say. I've never been so damn tired in my life. And when I'm tired, I'm not the happiest guy in the world. You ask anybody that knows me, when I'm tired, I'm irritable, I'm grumpy, and you put those two together, chances are I could be a little aggressive. A little aggressive. So the e-logs have done their part of it. Remember, back 15 years ago, we weren't using e-logs. If I needed to pull over in the middle of the day and take a break and have a nap, I could do that. It didn't affect, I could make up my time, and the rules and regulations back then, we were able to take certain liberties within reason, to make sure that we were able to get our jobs done. Today, I don't have any of those liberties per se. It's done. When the computer says ding, we stop. When it goes ding, we start. But when it goes ding and you're not tired, what good is that? And then when it goes ding and I am tired, I haven't had enough sleep because I was off too early, what good is that? So we lost miles. But I was one of those that was, oh my God, we're gonna lose our minds. We're gonna go broke. We won't be able to run. You know what? If I had to average it out, I'd say I'm probably lost about 80 miles a day by running an e-log. But it seems to me, I don't mind losing 80 miles a day, but when I feel like I'm working twice as hard just to get the miles I'm getting, I'm not happy with that. And that's part of the reason guys my age or even younger guys, why we're aggressive. We're racing a clock. There's a tick. I always look over here where my e-log is, and there's a clock counting down, tick, 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 tick. So you're constantly racing a clock. When I didn't have that, I was more relaxed. You wanna cut me off? Hey, knock yourself out. You wanna do this? Knock yourself out. You wanna tell me I'm number one? Knock yourself out. Don't care. Now, we got drivers putting other cars and other trucks and other people, cutting them off, driving aggressive, being careless. Why? We're racing the clock. So that's all about the e-log. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why today drivers are aggressive. The next one I would say would be our infrastructure. You go back, say 15, 20 years ago and you ran the 401, let's just use an example, say from Montreal to Windsor. Did we have the traffic coming through here? No. Did we have the volume of cars coming through here? No. Did we have the infrastructure? Did we have the lanes to get traffic through and flow through? No. Did we need it? No, we didn't need it 15 years ago. We need it now. We don't have the lanes required for big trucks to go through a major metropolitan city like Toronto. Let's go back even like 8 or 9 years ago. Rush hour in the morning started, and this is for our US drivers. Well, I'm just using Toronto as an example because it is probably the worst city in North America to get through these days. And I know you guys got Los Angeles, you got Atlanta, and you've got New York City. So just kind of go with this. The rush hour would start in the morning, back then, would start at about 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. And it would run till 9:30, and then rush hour was over. And then you had a break from about 9:30, 10 o'clock, all the way till about 3:30 in the afternoon. Then it would start vamping back up again. You'd run rush hour from about 3:30 straight through to about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then it was stopped. And you could pretty much zip through the city at those in-between times, those rush hours. So there's 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon that you knew you were gonna hit some rush hour traffic. Now, if you're running through the city today is Monday. So we just came off a weekend, everybody's going back to work. You run through the city this morning, I guarantee you, if you weren't on the road and through the city before 5 a.m. this morning, so from 5 o'clock, say 5:30, okay, rush hour now starts. And in Toronto right now, it goes from 5:30 in the morning till probably about 11 o'clock. I can guarantee you that you're almost parked looking at the planes landing and taking off at Pearson at any time through from 5:30 till 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe even closer to 11 o'clock. And then you might get a 2-hour window from 11 till 1. And then it starts up again. And then from 1 o'clock, and depends, it could be 6, 7, whatever. And all it takes is one accident, one fender bender, and you're parked. The day is shot. Now try being a truck driver and you're on a schedule, you've got appointments, gone. Forget about it, it's not happening. But it's not just in Toronto. I can say the same thing about Montreal. I can say the same thing about Chicago. Everybody knows about going through Chicago. Chicago's the same way. And right now, I think, well, I haven't been through on the 90 through Chicago in about 3 or 4 weeks. But the last time I went through there was construction, like right in the middle of the city on the 90. It's like, it was ridiculous. So we've got construction, we've got accidents, and we've got so much volume and our roads are not built. That's one of our biggest problems, the infrastructure. It just can't handle it. It's causing drivers to be aggressive. They're pushing their equipment, they're pushing their trucks, they're pushing that e-log, they're pushing their time. What they're doing is they're pushing their luck because eventually they're gonna have a problem. Whether it be an accident, it be whatever, they've got a problem. Hey, I've just been informed. Guess what? You're not gonna believe it. 22% of you are now subscribed. But what does that mean? That means that 78% of you are not. So, if you're watching the video, if you like what we're doing, if you're getting something from it, then hit the subscribe button. Give us a like and share it. Even if you're not getting something out of it, if you know somebody else that can use this information, share it. We would appreciate it. Back to the video. This part's gonna piss some people off. We're gonna get a lot of comments on this. Okay, so I gave you a couple of quick ones there on why we're aggressive. Now the last one now don't get me wrong, there's probably a list as long as my arm. Guys, you guys, and I'm sure in the comment section, you're gonna throw this at me. But these are just the 3 biggest ones that I came up with. The last one for why truck drivers are driving around much more aggressive as per we were 15 years ago, it's the quality of drivers on the road. Let's be fair. You can't blame everything on the 4-wheelers. Yeah, we've got some pretty lousy truck drivers too. And it doesn't matter, Canada or US, it makes no difference. You guys got them down there just as we got them up here. It's just that your population's 10 times ours, so you got more of them. Anyway, the biggest thing that I've noticed with the quality of drivers, especially the younger ones, and I'm not talking truck drivers, I'm talking about the 4-wheelers. It's their self-entitlement while they're on the road. They're distracted, they got devices, they've got 100 little buttons in their cars to play with. If you're over 45, remember back getting into your parents' car and you look at the dashboard. One knob for the radio, one for the volume, couple for the slide back and forth for the heat, speedometer, tachometer, gear shifter. That was it. Today, you go look in my Acura, It looks like this, like if I took that car back then, it looked like a space shuttle, okay? And it's distracting. The people today driving around in their vehicles are distracted. We know that. Though there's laws saying you can't look at your cell phone. I don't know how many times I'm sitting in traffic or I'm moving along in traffic. I look down, take a quick look down. If I look down into 5 cars, I guarantee you 3 of them are sitting there looking at their phones and the other 2 have the phone sitting right on their lap. Something stupid happens while you're distracted. What happens? You're gonna swerve into my lane, you're gonna piss me off, and then we're gonna have a problem. I'm gonna get aggressive. Hopefully not aggressive back to you, but it will fire me up. Quality of driving as well is the driving lessons. The people learning to drive today are not given, they're rushed through this driving schools. Come in the door, they're $1. So they come in the door, they pay their money, and they're rifled through as fast as they can and spit out the other and said, there you go, you can drive now. Then you go to the ministry, you take a 15-minute test, and you've got a license. No, man, that's not right. There's nothing I can do about it, and there's nothing we as truck drivers can do about it, but that's just the way it is. Kids today drive in cars, and I can say this honestly because I've got 5 kids. I've taught 5 kids how to drive. Now, that's not how I've taught them all. They've gone through driving school, but as their father, I've taught 5 kids how to drive. After I've got out of the car, they've gone through school, they've bought their own cars, and I watch them drive. Some of them are terrible. They're absolutely terrible drivers. Now, they say the same thing about me, but whatever. But they're terrible drivers. Why? Because they're self-entitled. And I'm not talking necessarily about my kids, but just the young people. They're self-entitled. They think that they can drive down the road. They don't have to switch lanes. They can do this. They can do that. They do whatever they want. They hog the road. I don't know how many times a day I get cut off by somebody who just doesn't bother to throw the signal on. They figure they're past me. And if I don't hit my brake, I'm going to hit the tail of your car and spin you around and kill you. So if you're watching this and you drive a car, make sure, take that into account that I'm gonna kill you if I run you over. You're not gonna live through it. So as for 4-wheelers, I guess at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is you don't own the road. I don't own the road, but neither do you. You don't own it. I'm bigger than you. I will kill you if you mess up. That's gonna be on you. If I mess up and kill you, that's on me. But if you mess up and I kill you, that's on you. So don't be so aggressive on the road. Don't be so distracted on the road. Just let's all get along. The other half of this is really quickly would be the other truck drivers. We can do a whole episode, again, as long as my arm, on the truck drivers that we've got in the industry today, as per se we did 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago. But the drivers we have today are not as well trained as they should be coming through the schools. They're given way too much responsibility way too soon. And we as an industry are paying a price for that in certain aspects. Does that make me aggressive? Yes. When I've got a I'm coming up beside another driver, or I see another driver doing something stupid and he swerves or he's whatever and he's in my lane, is that gonna piss me off? You're damn right it's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna say some unspiritual things to you through the CB or out my window, but the drivers today, doesn't matter, cars, trucks, it's another reason why we're grumpy. So there you go. This was just a quick one on a question that was asked. Why are we so aggressive, or why are we so grumpy? There you go. We've got e-logs, we've got infrastructure, and we've got, I was gonna say, but we're gonna say crappy drivers all around us. So there you go. If there's anything here that's helping you out, great. If not, hey, keep tuning in. We'll eventually find something here that'll work for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and we will see you down the road.